Our next question, question 3, will begin with Mr. Cheatwood. In certain parts of the city, abandoned properties and blight remain a persistent concern. What would you do as mayor to address the issue and encourage redevelopment, reinvestment, and revitalization of those properties? And what would your timeline be for starting that initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. So also, one of the other many hats I wear is I am a realtor as well. So imagine that, you have every hat under the sun. So blight is a real deal, right? Abandoned property is a real deal. What we have to start doing is we've got to start implementing processes to get these properties cleaned up quickly. We'll put a nuisance order on there and it'll sit for weeks. Part of that is because our staff is overworked and undercompensated. Tana, I'm looking at you. So they work hard, but there's not enough people in the field. We staff City Hall so heavily, but we have no one out here doing the work. So that is where we start. We start by making cuts at City Hall in leadership positions. And you redirect those funds back to people actually out in the field doing the work. Cutting grass, mowing lawns, cleaning up these properties. You put a tax lien on these properties. If the owner won't do it, put a tax lien on it. They'll have to pay it eventually. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Smith.
Yeah, so I just want to say the issue with putting tax liens on properties is it's still something the city would have to maintain. And if we do not have the amount of people, whether it be staff or the amount of money to address those, we're still at the situation at hand. The biggest issue that I see with abandoned and blighted properties in the city of Anniston is the educational aspect. What I would encourage that we start air property workshops. People need to know, hey, when grandmama and granddaddy die, what do we need to do to maintain this property instead of letting it sit for 20 plus years and then we're complaining about nuisance properties. We have to have some pride in the neighborhoods that we live in. West Anniston is a little bit more unique. It's not just something as simple as going in and renovating because of all the environmental issues that we have yet to address in the city of Anniston. We're talking about 20 plus years of environmental issues. And we're not talking about PCBs. That is just surface level. The majority of that has been cleaned up. We're talking about industrial waste from the foundries that have been there. We're talking about mercury, poisonous metals, issues that have yet to be resolved. So I think there's a holistic approach that we're going to have to take in order to address the blighted properties, including using CDBG funds. Some of these houses are just messed up beyond repair. We need to identify what houses we cannot fix and potentially what houses that we absolutely can. Again, that first step is education. Number 2 is working with CDBG funds to get done. And I think we can mobilize the community to start caring about their neighborhoods as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Woods.
Yes, blighted and abandoned properties. I myself, and I understand you see this, but my property itself has fallen under disrepair due to circumstances that are beyond my control. But again, these properties and stuff, we need to look to, as Mayor Smith said, look towards education for these family and stuff. As I said, these properties have been sitting for so long, they don't know exactly what to do sometimes with those properties. And again, heavy pollutions and stuff make these buildings sometimes unviable. We must ensure that the cleanup and the buildings that cannot be repurposed should be at least torn down or removed so they're no longer a blight on our community. I want to work with community leaders and stuff to identify such properties and stuff and work towards figuring out who owns that property so we can work with those property owners and see what they want to do with the property. Do they just want to get rid of it or do they want help to fix their properties? If they want to get rid of it, I just propose maybe a little incentive from the city, like a small money incentive to help them move on from that property if need be. Well, not in right on the way, but help them get some value from the property so they can move on. From there, we work with community leaders still, see what we do with the property. If it's unviable, we demolish it and try to repurpose the land itself after cleanup. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Folks.
Yes, and I think one of the key points that's been made here, and this is what's so obvious, everybody understands, is the importance of education. I think a lot of things that we do here, if you're educated on those things, It would help accountability. People have to be accountable for where they live as well, and investing your time to help on these things. I'm one of those guys that before boots on the ground became a novelty as it is now. I'm a boots on the ground guy, so things that I've seen is that I know certain sites that people will call in and say the trash needs to be picked up. We pick that trash up, and somebody to pick that trash up. You go back there 2 days later, the trash back in the same place. And these are more than one site. People got to invest in their community. And the thing, I actually been riding around and see people bring something out of their house, a couch out of their house, and throw it in their front yard. What the thing about the education, if you want your community to look good, you got to invest in your community. You got to do some things to help out as well. We got the thing that we in place, Anderson Changes, which we come in once a month, where people can actually come and volunteer in their community and help pick up. I think an idea of one of those things that we can work with our young people and maybe get some people together and actually work with our young people to help maybe pick up some of these bad areas. Things like that can happen. We got to have a way of working with our code enforcement, because they're limited, they got limited staff. Only so much they can do, because their code enforcement is not just with Blight, it's on other things as well. But education, accountability, being proud of our community, working together, investing in your community, I think those are key things that happen. And those are going to have conversation, continuing education. Thank you.
Anderson City is trashy right now. And the education needs to be the education at the council. And that is to put the people back out and picking up garbage and trash like we used to do. And what happened a few years ago, they fired a lot of the Indians that wanted working, they're doing the work in the streets, and they gave that money, like you said, increase to supervisors. Put the people back on the ground and get out there and clean up the trash weekly or every other week. When the gas prices went up a few years ago, several years ago, we went to one every other week. What do we do with the houses? Some of these houses can't be saved. You have community development block grant fund, you have home funds. Home funds, if there's an individual that can pay the taxes and pay insurance, if it costs us $10,000 to tear a house down, and you can it takes about $15,000 to bring that house back up to standard living condition. If you have a family out there that's renting and that can utilize that house and that can pay, and the city go through the process of getting that property, then why not put the $10,000 in there instead of tearing it down, put the $5,000 with it and restore that house and give it to an individual for them, and then you maintain that house on the tax roll. Once you take a house down, then the tax roll, the money goes down. But that's what we must do, and use the community development block grant fund and home fund, and we can restore this community and make things looking good again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.